Hey everybody, welcome to the video. This is a soft launch of our really revolutionary sleep system. We call it the Insomnia Cure, and it's a vagus nerve informed therapy that actually helps people fall asleep and stay asleep really incredibly well. So I'm really happy and really proud that the team of experts that work inside of our vagus nerve stimulation and repair program, big shout out to you guys, has helped develop a really radically new type of sleep treatment. So yeah, we're going to go through that right now, and the link to this document is going to be in the description of the video, and so you can go and check that out yourself. But I'll just kind of do a little scroll through so you can see what is on offer and what kind of the next steps might be and why you might want to use a system like this. So if we click into the document, you'll see someone, stock image of someone sleeping really well, really deeply, very comfortably. And so what this system does is it plays an audio, a specially handcrafted audio program that loops while you're going to sleep. And then once you have fallen asleep, then you should be able to stay asleep. And essentially the reason why this works is because we looked at the vagus nerve as really one of the most important nerve networks that has to be activated for you to be able to go to sleep. So if your vagus nerve is damaged or dysfunctional in some way, which there's lots of reasons why that can happen, and most people have to some degree in their life will experience vagus nerve dysfunction. That's just a fact. So one of the worst things that you could have manifest as a symptom of vagus nerve damage is really going to come down to interruption of sleep. And if you're sleeping poorly, then your vagus nerve can't even go and do what it needs to do in your body. Your vagus nerve is really good at signaling repair and cleaning out toxins from the body, keeping you calm, keeping you relaxed, and helping you sleep. So sleep and insomnia are really some of the most damaging manifestations of vagus nerve dysfunction. So inside of our full program, instead of our big paid program, we offer the full version of this, and we do coaching around this memory system as a way to deal with traumatic experiences. Because I always think that if you have a trauma and it continues to rear its ugly head again and again and again, likely it's because you maybe just kind of lack the mental skill set that lets you work with memory. Like if you've ever seen that movie with Tom Cruise, Minority Report, where he's like kind of flicking through the hologram screen of like little video clips and trying to solve, investigation cases that way. Your memory is very similar. Your memory inside of your conscious mind is extremely similar to that. So I'm just going to go back to the video since I'm just talking. But yeah, so your memory can be moved and changed and shifted in your own conscious mind, and all forms of like trauma therapy or psychiatry, where there's talk therapy involved or hypnosis or what have you. All of these things really do involve your memory, and those programs are best at essentially teaching you storytelling to keep your mind on the right track. So if you tell a story of Little Red Riding Hood went into the woods, she got hunted by a wolf and she had to run, and all the kind of storytelling that is provided in therapeutic context and hypnosis, especially because hypnosis is a lot about storytelling and visual storytelling. What they're doing is it's treatment by proxy. And what I mean there is not that these are bad therapies. I think they're extremely effective. However, it's like the hypnotist becomes the mechanic of your brain, and they don't teach you what they're doing. They're just going in and fixing things. And so I think maybe 25% of people in the world, that's adequate. They're just like, I don't need to know how you're doing the work with hypnosis. I just want the results. And that's absolutely fantastic. And I commend people who are that way. For other people, they like to know what is being performed on their brain. They like to know what's being performed in their conscious mind. And I've heard stories about people who have signed up for coaching programs that use hypnosis to alter beliefs or to treat illness or to treat insomnia. And so I've heard great things, but I've also heard some negative things, and some things that make me concerned that, maybe hypnotic induction and storytelling and memory work isn't really intended for everybody on the planet. It could be that a certain larger group of people would love to learn, how does a hypnotist engage your memory centers to create visual, compelling stories that ultimately put you on a path to being the greater version of yourself possible. And so what this Insomnia Cure program really is it's a highway to teaching you the skill set of doing what the most advanced hypnotists in the planet do to clients all the time. So it's really like a magician's trick program where I'm kind of pulling back the curtain and showing you, hey, you know, the skill sets that these hypnotists have learned and these kind of talk therapy practitioners have learned are not inaccessible skills at all. These are things that anybody could learn, and they could learn them very quickly. And if they have the skill set to work with their own memory through this program that I'm releasing today, which is a free program, you can go click the link in the description and get started. But if you learn that methodology of visual mnemonic memory, spelled Mnemoic, I believe, mnemonic, is a form of highly impactful visual and sometimes emotional charged memory. And the better you can access that network in your brain, that involves your limbic brain, your brainstem, your prefrontal cortex, your insular cortex, very important area that controls immune function and memory and emotions and all this stuff. If you learn the skill set of memory as it's laid out here in this program that we have today, then you will literally be your own best therapist because you know your mind better than any external party. So I find that's just been a core value of mine is before I let somebody go into my brain with storytelling or hypnosis, I need to kind of understand what they're going for. What's the real point, or what's the purpose for why they're doing it? And so this program was developed out of a couple different influences, one being literally a mega memory program that I purchased when I was like 12 years old. And so I was very interested in the study of memory and how to memorize large lists of things. I know, like I was totally one of the cool kids, I'm sure you can tell. I oddly enough was kind of a cool kid, but I was much more interested in technology and computers. So I wasn't going to all the big bender parties in high school for sure. But yeah, so the sleep audio system comes from a technique that engages your cortex memory centers. And anytime you have a demand on cognitive processes to remember something, your vagus nerve will actually spit out, like venom, but a good type of venom, a little bit of acetylcholine into your brain, which primes you for learning, for memory, for retention of information, and just a quicker kind of cognitive processes. So that's actually really important for when you're going to bed too, because a lot of people find the reason they have insomnia is because they're unable to control the mental chatter. And all the mental chatter really is, for the most part, is remembering things again and again and again, and just kind of creating this endless loop of mental pathways that you just can't escape from. And it's totally sucks. It's not very fun. So what we've done is created this audio program that you play right before sleep and while you're in bed. And I'll show you how we will equip you, how the equipment will be assembled to do this. Is very affordable, very accessible for nearly everyone. And so what we do with this sleep audio program is we engage those same memory centers that are allowing you to ruminate on past events or past conversations or what could have been or what's going to happen tomorrow or all this stuff that emotionally activates your sympathetic branch and keeps you awake all night. So what we're doing is we're creating an audio mnemonic methodological program that will engage certain memory centers which are not highly sympathetically charged. These are neutral valence words that we've chosen, and they also go into developing a really extraordinary memory. So that's kind of what the sleep audio system is. Yes, so that's what the sleep audio system is. And then, so what I want to do is just take you through the document real quickly so you have some sense of kind of what to expect, what to look for. So going back here, so when you click on the link for this, you're going to be able to read more about it. So you can read about my experience with it and what to do specifically. Measuring your heart rate variability during sleep is a really good idea. You can do that with the Oura Ring or sleep trackers or whatever. And so this system being used already by my clients, by my paid clients in our program, already have noticed that just this one audio played during the onset of sleep to engage the vagus nerve has increased their HRV by 12 points, which is pretty substantial. There's not really any pills or anything you can take for that. And so this system 100% works across the board with really bad cases. I'm talking about, we have, maybe I should post the testimonials here, but I'll do it later. I'll probably plug them into the document so you can see them yourselves. But yeah, this stuff really does work. So if you are struggling with insomnia, as I promised last Friday, you're now going to have access to the actual audio. So you can read more about it there. And then just to cover a few of the specifics. So the specific, once you've kind of read about the background, the history of this program, the concepts around the hypothesis, how it's working, that kind of stuff, you can actually go and download the sleep audio file for yourself. So it's an MP3 file that you will download to your computer and load onto a specific tiny little affordable MP3 player, and then plug in a pair of it's a sleep headphone system that you wear during bed, and it doesn't play music out, it just plays in, and each one of the speakers is covered in foam, so you can actually softly lay on the side of your head and you won't feel anything, which is amazing for a lot of people who need something playing while they go to sleep. This works really well. So the sleep system, the audio is right here in this document. So it's the mnemonic peg, and it's going to take you it's going to read out loud numbers 1 through 25, so you can see what those look like. And then there's also a video, I believe that should be live now. There's a video that will detail the specific mnemonic audio. So let's see if you can see that. Yeah. So inside of the video, inside of the document that you guys have, you're going to see that the entire 25 peg list items are there to be looked at and remembered. You need to make a very clear association between the visual thing and the number associated with it, and the phonetics. So you'll hear me in the background actually saying them out loud. The way I speak them is in a very soft, melodic, kind of half yawning kind of voice. So what that also does is it's going to trigger your brain to say it's okay to start like sleeping, to go to sleep. So the whole program is there. I'm going to pause that and go back to the document. So the document to the video is in the document, or the link to the video is in the document. And then we also have just a kind of pictographic representation of what these video clips look like from 1 to 10. So you can see those there. And then, you can learn what the specific mnemonics are that I'm saying in the document, which we've gone over before many times on Fridays. And then, everything's there as far as understanding it and getting access to the audios. And then lastly is the actual hardware that you're going to use to make this work. And that's actually just as important as the audio itself. They're both very important, that these do need to go together. So what needs to be put together is that you will need to order one of these sleep mask audio players with just a simple 3.5 millimeter audio jack, which you can see here. And so that's the speaker, that's the audio playing device, and it wraps around your head, very soft. It's neoprene, it has no smell, doesn't cause irritation at all. It's just like super soft. So you can wear that around your forehead like a band, or you can drop it over your eyes and use it like a sleep mask. So it's a dual purpose device. It's very cool. And you can also remove the speakers out of it and then wash it if you need to. But then you can always easily slip them back into the headset. So it's got the little audio cable there, and I believe the audio cable is about 3 feet long. And then what you'll need is the MP3 player itself. And so this is a little, basically it's like the iPod Nano, which is a very small little MP3 player. It's essentially the same thing, but I believe it's less than $20. And what that will do is you'll take the audio and you'll drag and drop it on your computer, just one time. So you just drag and drop it on the audio player one time, and then when you hit play, it will just loop through the audio, and you can control the volume, you can pause, you can do all kinds of stuff with that little device. And it's got great battery life. It'll last you through the whole day if you need it. And you just plug it into USB, which it includes a USB cable for charging in your home. And I would recommend charging that thing up every night or every day in the morning after you've used it, and then it'll be ready and fully charged by the time you go to sleep. So just get in the habit of making sure you plug that device in. I keep mine right here. I have a little wall socket, and I keep it plugged in during the day, and it has a couple lights that light up, letting you know that it's being charged. So that device can be purchased as well. This program is, again, I will reiterate, very important that you are playing it through some form of ideally non-device specific app or device, okay? Or I mean, I'm basically saying you don't want to play this over your iPhone is what I'm saying. The reason being is because iPhones will, if you get a text or an email or a notification on social media or something, then Facebook will blast your phone with notifications. And so if you're playing your audio on the device, it could, basically, if you're playing this audio, just ignoring the physical hardware that I've linked in here that you can get for like around $25 or something like that all total. And if you just try to just do the audio MP3, you are really going to be missing out in a big way. And setting yourself up again for that kind of that phone addiction that we really want to get people off of, which is that rather than having to reach for your phone for literally everything, where you get your pleasure, your politics, your news, your friends, your romantic engagements all through one device, actually does kind of confuse the brain a little bit. And that's why you see just massive levels of phone addiction. So this is really intended to get you off your phone and get you another device that is just dedicated to sleep. So you have a physical device thing that is just sleep specific. I don't want you loading audiobooks on this. I don't want you loading anything else. This isn't like, woohoo, I have this extra thing I can jam a bunch of stuff onto that I'm never going to look at or never going to watch. This should maintain one single audio on it at all times. Very similar to how we do it with the other public program called the Hour of Power, whereas it's an audio player that you wear around your ears and you go walk outside, and you're only really supposed to load just that one audio on that one device. So the same thing applies here. You only want one audio on this one device here. So the link to it is here. You can go check it out on Amazon, and you can also get basically the audio sleep mask that plays it. And so you just plug the sleep mask headphone jack right into the blue MP3 player. You hold the play button, it'll turn on, and then you hit play, and you should hear it coming out of the audio speakers already. And so just to reiterate again, this is a incredible sleep-specific program. You will not be disappointed, I promise you, if you put this into action. And just a reminder is on this page, I believe page 4 out of 9, the actual audio is located here. So if you go here and you click on the audio, it will play. There's an actual MP3 file right here that you can go and listen to. Okay? I don't know if you can hear that, but it's an audio file that is playing, and you can click on this, go here, and then you'll be able to download the file. So you can, up in the upper right hand corner, you can click download, and it will automatically ask to download it to your computer. So there's that, and then I still do want you to learn the mnemonic code that helps you actually remember this. So that's also provided here too. So you first want to watch the video and familiarize yourself with what does number 5 look like, which is, this is number 5, la la, 5 la la, and 6 ja joy. Some people are like, I'm in Iceland or I'm in Australia. They don't know what Joy dish detergent is. So my apologies if I'm being a cultural imperialist here by stating that number 6 is dish soap. but I don't think it should be too much of a problem for most of you. But yeah, so you want to have this super good recall ability for these items and review it once before you sleep. Then during sleep, you'll only be listening to the audio component of this, but it's the same audio. It's just the video has the visual peg list items that you need to remember from your own internal mind. So great. So yeah, that document is here. As I promised everybody last Friday, we would release this as a soft public release. So I hope some of you did order the products that I had listed in the description of the video last time. But if you haven't, now you have access to that again. And so you can go ahead and order this stuff. And, again, this sleep mask, I believe, costs like $13, and this thing costs like $12. So these are very, very affordable potential treatments. I know that sleep studies could cost thousands of dollars, and they'll basically just say, yeah, your sleep sucks. Try taking melatonin before you go to bed. That's kind of what you're going to get. So yeah, there's not much else I need to know about someone before they use this. I would just say if you have sleep issues, if you have a difficulty sleeping or even waking up at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and having a difficult time going back to sleep, then it would be really a good idea for you to use this Insomnia Cure program. It's very effective. Now, for those who are kind of on the fence and want to maybe join in on our bigger program, you will get access to a much fuller, more robust version of this audio. But for now, for people who are just in the group who want to get a taste of what it's like and really actually have a practical system developed for sleep, this is more than adequate for most of you. But yes, just know we do have a much fuller list available inside of our paid program. But yeah, this guide is a free guide, and so it's all good. And then there's a kind of one other option for sleep audio, and that would be a Bluetooth headset. So this is a completely wireless solution, but in this case, it requires you to have to go on your phone and press play and find the audio. Like, where are you going to keep the audio on your phone? They don't make it super easy. So you can also like play this on your phone, but it's only 5 minutes. So ideally with this, you're really going to have to probably go for this blue MP3 player as far as the recommendations would go. And this sleep audio mask. Probably wouldn't recommend the Bluetooth option if I could give you an option. I think the Bluetooth mask is like $26. So you'll be spending about the same, but you'll probably get, I would call it, better functionality if you went with the blue MP3 player and the sleep mask. And so I'm going to share the links to everything I've been talking about right now here in the chat, so you can all go and get those links yourself. Check some of the comments here as well. Boop. Okay, so that is for the sleep mask. And then I'm going to share the link for the MP3 player, and I will get to your questions here in a second. Let's see. MP3 player. Boom. Okay. And then just lastly is the link to the insomnia treatment program audio. So you can go and get that and collect that that actual document. I'm going to pin it here to the chat so people can see that. So good. So I see a lot of you are clicking on that link and going and ordering that. So that's fantastic. I'm a big fan of that. Add those things to your carts, get them shipped out, and you can start using the exact sleep system that we talked and promoted last week on our Friday video. So yeah, other than that, I think that kind of covers it for the sleep system. I hope this has been helpful. I'm going to end here on YouTube. So thanks everybody on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It helps us with the algorithm and gets more people seeing this kind of work. So if you can go and specifically like this video that you're watching on YouTube, that would be great. You might actually save someone's life, because sleep disorders are one of the worst manifestations of vagus nerve dysfunction. And so people struggle, they suffer a lot when they're not able to sleep. And so this is a novel treatment. It's very vaguely informed. And we know that when you make therapies that are informed from a vagus nerve perspective, oftentimes they're 5 to 10 times more effective than other treatments that don't even know what the vagus nerve is. That's just a fact. We've seen that time and time again. As you know, if you look at like conditions like depression, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, these kinds of illnesses, there are treatments available. But once someone said, what if we just treated the vagus nerve specifically with like electrical stimulation or ultrasound stimulation or light stimulation or probing or whatever, they found that the results as far as treatments to those disorders was substantially less costly, less invasive, faster than other things, and they had less of a burden on the body as they processed like chemicals. So this audio program that you have now is a vagus specific treatment. Don't let it fool you. Just because we're working with memory and it's an audio, there's no, you're not like stimulating your vagus nerve through your neck or anything like that. Although that's a good option for a lot of people. This audio program is in a lot of ways doing work on your vagus nerve. You'll feel that the very first night you do it. As you're listening, you're just going to slowly go. You will feel your body going into a parasympathetic state, like a good parasympathetic state. So it's very exciting stuff. Very excited to share this technology with everybody. So yeah, if you haven't already, please just go and get the MP3 player, get the headset, get the VR kind of like audio program thing that we have linked in the chat. And yeah, anyway, I hope to see you in the next video. We'll be going live again on Friday and all that fun jazz. So thanks, YouTube, and I'll talk to you soon.